My house is a complete disaster. Today is Mother's Day, and I am cleaning it from top to bottom. I'm going to motivate you to get up and get your house reset for the week. And don't you worry, yes, I cleaned on Mother's Day, but Saturday I rotted on the couch like a grocery store avocado, so I was plenty rested up to tackle this mess in this extreme farmhouse reset power hour. So let's get into this video and get this house put back together. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and let's get this thing started. Da 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 da. Hello sunshine, and welcome back to another video. This is a very motivating video for you guys today. Like, I didn't even want to get up and do this cleaning, but like I said, I sat on the couch all day Saturday and rested. My mom took all three of my boys for the entire weekend. It was not planned, but it happened that way. And I was like, you know what? I know they say to not do cleaning on Mother's Day, take your break, but I just couldn't do it. I had to get the house put back together, and I was in a really good mindset to do it while the boys were at my mom's. So I hope that if you celebrate Mother's Day, that you had a wonderful day and were loved on and spoiled like the queen you are. I had a really good day. Like I said, it sounds kind of ironic, but I didn't have my kids, and let me tell you, it's just what this mama needed to get her priorities back in order, spend some time with the Lord, you know, all the good things. But my father-in-law actually bought me a beautiful gift, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. That will be in the next video that I have, so y'all will just have to stay tuned for that. But if you did get a gift for Mother's Day, let me know what you got, because I just love hearing what everybody gets for any holiday. That's just who I am. But we're going to get started here in the laundry room, and I noticed somebody else cleaned up the lint trap and apparently couldn't walk the 4 steps to the trash can, but that's okay. That's what I'm here for, right? To pick up the slack. I don't know. That sounds negative. I'm not complaining. I love my family. I'm glad they help out. I hate lint, and it's just, ugh, it's gross. Anyway, did you know you can use your lint ball to wipe up the lint off of the machines? It's like a little magnet. All right, well, anyway, I'm not going to be folding clothes in today's video. I'm just going to put all the clean ones here in this hamper to fold later on, but I do get a lot of stuff done. Now, this video is quite long. It's longer than most of my cleaning videos. And if you're new here, I'm not using music because of some copyright issues with YouTube. I'm trying to talk slowly so that I can breathe while I talk to you guys. But this video is like 45 minutes, and I've got to figure out talking points for 45 minutes. And I'm already, like, my brain is already sizzling from thinking so hard. So I'm going to just be sharing whatever comes to mind throughout the video. I'm not one that writes a script or anything, so I hope that you are going to enjoy today's video. Can y'all believe it is almost summer? My kids have, I think, 8 total days of school left for the school year, and I told my first grader that this morning. He was like, oh no, I don't want to go to 2nd grade. I love 1st grade. So that might be a little difficult, but I think he'll be all right. He just really enjoys school now. He had a little bit of a rough start at first, but we have definitely straightened out some kinks, and we're still getting through some things, but I'm just grateful that he enjoys school. And of course, the middle schooler is like, yes, I'm ready for school to be out, and personally, I am too. It's hard for me to get up in the mornings. I'm ready to get the summer menu plan going and our schedule. I'm determined to not let it just be a fly by the seat of our pants all summer long and just no schedule at all. That's just not the way to be for us anyway. If you want to be no schedule, you do you, that's fine. But I know for me, if I don't have some kind of routine, I feel like I am lost, swimming in circles and drowning in a whirlpool. Yeah. So anyway, I saw this thing on Pinterest where a mom actually wrote down the days of the week, and she didn't make it complicated. She did it really simple. Every day for lunch, the kids would have some kind of sandwich and then like chips and fruit or something. And then dinner was basically dinner like it was all year long. But I think overcomplicating things is one of my issues. I plan these big elaborate things and then I don't do them, so then I get bogged down and depressed and then I don't do anything. So that is one of my goals, is to keep things simple for summer prep. So I would like to make a menu plan like that where, like, for breakfast they have a couple options, and then lunch a couple options, and dinner is everybody eats the same thing. I think that'll really help us, mainly me. Okay, I'm the one that runs this house because my husband works full-time outside the home. And so I need to be mentally stable to be able to survive with the 3 boys by myself at home. But they thrive on routine too. They just don't know it. We are a neurodivergent household, and when they know what to expect, our days go a lot more smoother. Is that the way to say it? A lot more smoothly. I think that's right. Like my middle son, he has really bad time blindness, so he'll wake up in the morning, he'll eat breakfast, and then I'll have to be like, okay, it's time to eat lunch. And he'll say, but I already ate 5 minutes ago, and really it was like 4 hours ago. Forgot where I was going with that. But anyway, yep, easy schedule. I encourage you to do the same. Mamas get it prepped before their last day of school so that when the first day of summer hits, you're ready to hit the ground running. I know I procrastinate really bad, so I'm hoping that I get my stuff together and get everything planned out. At least if I plan it, that's half the battle. We'll see if I actually stick to it. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot, but did y'all get to see Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights? I am just in awe of the beauty of God's creation. It was so beautiful outside. I was going to try and watch them again last night, which was Sunday night, but I fell asleep because I worked so hard all day Mother's Day cleaning the house and doing some other stuff that I'll share in the next video. I'm actually really sore today from doing all the cleaning because I sweep and mop in this video too. And y'all know if you got chronic illness, your muscle aches. If you overdo it, you're going to pay for it. And boy, am I paying for it. But anyway, they were so beautiful. And I was so excited about my pictures. And then, of course, you get on social media and you see everybody else's and you're like, well, mine aren't good enough. But really, yes, they are. Everybody got a different viewpoint, different colors. Mine were more, I'll post some pictures up here. Mine were more of like the pink and blue and green, I think. I don't know. Like I said, there's a picture. But there was some beautiful, bright, vivid purple that I saw that I was like, oh, that is just so glorious. I'm obsessed. One of my friends, she lives way out in the country, so she didn't have any kind of lights to contend with. And she got some amazing shots of the Northern Lights. And I was like, I wasn't that excited about the solar eclipse. Like, I've been through the path of totality before. But I was really excited about these Northern Lights. And they didn't even prepare us for them. Like, there was just a little bit of a news clip like, oh, you might be able to see the Northern Lights, geomagnetic storm or whatever. And it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my entire life. The most amazing. Anyway, y'all let me know if you got to see them. I just absolutely loved it. And my youngest son was home with us, so it was really cool to get to experience that with him. My other two were already at my mom's house. It was on a Friday night. Yeah, it was Friday that we saw them. So it was really cool to get to have him there to see him too, because he's 8. Excuse me. And he was like, the sky is so pretty, Mommy. And it was so beautiful. And makes me think, if it's this beautiful on earth, I can't imagine what heaven's going to be like. Or like when the true end of time and like he creates the new heaven and the new earth, like how beautiful that's going to be. Sorry about my throat being kind of gravelly. We went to Menards yesterday to look for my Mother's Day gift. That's another hint. And I was like, well, I would really like some fresh flowers. And I got crazy allergies, y'all. And I don't know how I got a wild hair up my butt to walk through Menards flower selection. Like, I've been to Lowe's and Home Depot and Walmart's Garden Center. They had nothing up to Menards. This place had like 20 rows of flowers. And I went up and down probably half of them. Y'all, my eyes were burning so bad in my throat. And I was like, what was I thinking? And I ended up not getting any of those flowers on those aisles. I got something that was close to the entrance when we walked in. Like the first thing I saw and liked, that's what I ended up going with. But for some reason, That's how my shopping always goes. When I first get there, I'll find what I'm looking for, but I don't know what I'm looking for until I've looked at all the other options. Like, my brain and heart are not satisfied until I've seen everything that I could possibly have, that I realize it's the first thing that I saw that I actually end up getting and loving. Which is funny, because in life it's the same way. I overthink everything, overanalyze the situations, put myself through so much stress and anxiety when really I should have just trusted the first gut instinct and gone with that. It's a toxic trait of mine, but it's getting better and I am learning. Oh, I need to declutter this bathroom again. I know I've done it twice for y'all, but I'm learning more and more what we actually use in here, and I am sick and bloody tired of coming in here and having to clean up the same mess. It's like a tornado went off in here every time I come in here. We do share this bathroom, all 5 of us. So, I mean, there is a lot of stuff that needs to be in here, but there's a lot of stuff that's definitely going to be gotten rid of because this is just ridiculous. I also don't know where to store this extra toilet paper yet, so I kind of just play musical chairs with it, or musical floor tiles, I don't know. But I move it around the bathroom until I finally just take it out and leave it in the hallway because I don't know what to do with it right now. I don't want to put it in the basement because that's a long way to go to get toilet paper. So I'm thinking I'm going to find a place in the laundry room for it, like in those cabinets. But I'm just now thinking about that, so I don't do that in the video, but I'm about to do it when I finish this voiceover. I'm recording this voiceover Monday, May 13th, and I've actually got a pretty busy day scheduled. So I'm up right now eating my breakfast. I've got some grits and some turkey bacon and drinking some water. I'm really trying to drink my water again, girls. And then I'm supposed to go help my mom in her house. Part of my Mother's Day gift to her, I guess you could say, is helping her declutter and organize some spaces in her home because she had surgery on her arm a few years ago and she has never gained function of it back. So a lot of things in her kitchen are not really functional for her. It's just a chore for her to do anything. So I'm going to go over there and help her move some things around. I went over there the other day and moved a few things and decluttered some other spaces. Like, she had a giant cedar chest in the living room that she wanted to use for the blanket storage. And we hadn't opened it in a very long time. I'm talking probably 20 years since I've been in it. And I helped her clean that out. We walked down memory lane. That was a lot of fun. We found a lot of pictures and mementos. Just little things you forget that you had. And we probably took about an hour and a half decluttering that and then cleaning it out and putting her blankets in it. And then she had a shelf with a lot of linens. She doesn't have a linen closet. She just has this big shelf, kind of like my towel shelf, but it's white with a bunch of racks. Anyway, I helped her organize that and get everything fixed up. Moved it over a little bit so that she could move her deep freeze over to the wall where the blanket shelf was. It was just a lot of stuff, but it feels really good to have that done, and I feel blessed that I'm able to help my mom when she needs it. And anyway, long story short, short story long, I'm going over there again today to do some more of that. And then after that, I have to take my oldest son to a doctor's appointment because, y'all, I have the utmost respect for the medical profession, including the pharmacy techs and the pharmacists and all that. But my son has a medicine that he gets refilled every 30 days. It says no refills on the bottle. I have to call the doctor to write a prescription, to call the pharmacy to fill it, to go pick it up. Well, I called the pharmacy and I was like, hey, I'm calling to see if my son's prescription is ready. And they said, no, we haven't received it yet. I was like, oh, well, I gave them 3 days to send it. They go, okay, well, we'll contact the doctor. Like, we'll message them and find out what's going on. Well, 2 days passes and I call them again and they're like, oh, we still haven't received anything. So I hang up with them. They said, you can call your doctor this afternoon. We'll message them again. So I hung up and I immediately called the doctor. I'm not waiting all day for this. So I call, and of course, it's not the local office. It's somewhere 8 hours away that has no idea who I am or what I'm dealing with. Whatever, that's technology, I guess. Anyway, I talked to this lady, and she is the sweetest person. But if you've ever seen Zootopia, it's like I was at the DMV with that sloth, and she didn't know what I was talking about. And then she put me on hold for 10 minutes, picked back up, and hung up on me, which was probably an accident. But she never did call back, so I was like, all right, well, I'll just go about my day. And then I get a call from the actual doctor's office, and the receptionist guy was like, hey, blah, 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 your son actually has to come see the doctor again before we can refill that prescription because his appointment was canceled like April 8th. And what's funny is I didn't cancel that appointment. They did. So it just stinks that he's gone a good week now without his medication. And this medication was really helping him succeed in school as far as grades. And just without this week, his grades have fallen again. And it really stinks that the pharmacy couldn't fill the medicine or that the doctor couldn't call me to reschedule that appointment so that he could have been seen. So anyway, we have to take him to the doctor this afternoon to hopefully be able to get his medicine by tomorrow. It's just a big old headache. But I guess I'm grateful for the doctors and the medicine. I just wish it wasn't so difficult to get medications filled. It's kind of a pain in the butt. And speaking of medicine, I packed the emergency bag for when we had the tornado warning the other day, and I had to pack all the medications, right? Well, I put them all in a Ziploc bag. I cannot find my middle son's medicine anywhere. I have looked in the bag. I've looked in the basement, up around the kitchen table where I unloaded it the next day, and it's just gone. So I don't know where that is. Some other things missing in my life, my laptop charger. Y'all, I can't even make end screens where at the end of my videos it would say watch this video next or subscribe here. I can't even make those because I cannot find my laptop charger anywhere. One of my children took it because I have the only device, my MacBook, that uses this kind of charger, and I have a charging station on my dresser, and it is gone. So I'm going a little bit crazy because I can't find his medicine, I can't find my laptop charger. My Bible study had gone missing, but I found it. And then I also lost something really important that was sent to me in the mail. So y'all please pray I find that because, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I just feel so lost right now because I just keep losing everything. This is an ice pack because Saturday afternoon, before the boys went to Mom's house, the two youngest were at the neighbor's house on the trampoline, and one of them's chin collided with the other one's head. One got a goose egg on his head. The other one looks like he's got a giant softball on his chin. But we put the ice pack on that. Poor little deer was screaming his head off because it hurt so bad. But it looks better today, so thank goodness for that. But I'm sure the kids at school might be mean to him, so I'm hoping he doesn't come home upset because people made fun of him. It looked like it hurt pretty bad, and yeah, that's why we don't have a trampoline. They're just dangerous. Something, excuse me again, something I meant to mention at the beginning of this video and completely forgot was, I'm serious about cleaning because I put my tennis shoes on. Now, usually my videos, I'm either barefoot or I've got my house shoes on. But today I was like, I need to get some stuff done. So I put on the tennis shoes. And let me tell you what, when I put those on, I don't stop until bedtime. So if you need some kind of like outer motivation to get you to feeling productive, go put some tennis shoes on. I'm telling you, it's like magic. It makes me want to get up and do all the things like I'm prepared for anything. And it's a lot better on my back too. So there is that. But I just got these at Walmart last year. I don't spend a lot of money on shoes because I don't really go anywhere in them. I just wear them around the house. I've got these tennis shoes and I've got my Hey Dudes. They're both leopard, which is hilarious. But yeah, I really like these. They've got just enough comfort to support my back and my feet. So I highly suggest if you just can't seem to get up and do anything, just go put some tennis shoes on. Now, sometimes it has the reverse effect. I'll be thinking, I do not want to get my shoes on because I know once I do, I'm going to get up and want to do everything, and I'm just tired. So I have to fight that mental battle every time to get up and put shoes on to get cleaning because the house always has things to do. As homemakers, it's not just a finished product. Every day, it starts over, and you just have to go through your routines and keep everything from blowing up and falling apart. I also, while I'm thinking about it, just want to say thank you so much for watching our marriage Q&A that posted Friday. If you have not seen that, I'll link it below. You should go check it out. I am upset that when we filmed it, it was not that loud outside to us, but the phone picked up every little noise. So, like, you can hear the guinea hens cackling in the back. They're like car alarms, y'all. They're so loud, but I love them to death, and they eat all the ticks, so we're keeping them. But anyway, we had a lot of fun filming that for y'all, so if you do have any more questions, let me know, and I'll start writing them down for another Q&A if y'all would like that. And just to clarify, my husband did say something about men shouldn't play video games, and I just wanted to elaborate on that because we didn't really elaborate because we were kind of tired. I mean, we filmed for over an hour, so our brains were mush. But we went through a spot in our marriage where I forgot what the video game was. It was like Call of Duty or something like that. And you play online with other people, and it just wasn't good for our marriage or our parenthood. Like, I didn't play it or anything, but I definitely had resentment grow in my heart towards him because the game came first, and, the boys follow the example of their father most times, so then they got addicted to video games. And he doesn't mind I'm sharing this, by the way. He said I could talk about it because it's going to help somebody else. I know it will. And I went through years of nagging him, please stop playing that stupid game. And like, I was a horrible, horrible wife the way I treated him. And it's really no wonder he didn't stop and he wanted to escape to that. But it was not a healthy coping mechanism for him because the people he played with are like huge potty mouths and just vulgar. And the game itself is violent. And so it would like increase rage and hatred and all that. And that really just showed in our lives. And I got really depressed and our marriage suffered for it. And so finally, like all things, I finally was like, you know what, God, I'm done. I'm giving this to you. And I said, I can't handle it. Help me to have peace with the situation that we're in. And I just started reading my Bible every day. I started loving him, even though I was very angry and I felt not loved by him. And one day he just said, I'm done playing the video games. I don't need it anymore. I mean, it was like an overnight change, probably about a month after I fully surrendered to God with it. And he hasn't played since. Our life has gotten so much better. Our marriage is so strong, and I fully credit that to the Lord. Our children are kind of mad because they were used to playing anytime they wanted to. Like with no limits really, because that's the thing with these newer video games. You can't just pause them or stop playing because you're on a team with other people and you can't just walk out of the game because then it gets them all hurt and all that stuff, which I personally do not care. If I want you off of that game, I'm going to unplug the whole system, and if it messes up your whole team, I just don't care. Life is more important than some electronic. But anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. I do think some people are able to do video games because they don't get addicted to it. It doesn't, warp their brain. But, I grew up with a Sega Genesis, and I love that thing. We had, Lion King, and I was really good at Sonic and Knuckles, the racing games. But you could pause those at any point in time and come back to the game. And I think that's really important because that kind of, it gives you limits and boundaries with these games. But I know nowadays a lot of people are addicted to them just like they're addicted to anything else. But once it starts affecting your family and your marriage, there's a problem and, you need to face it. So I'm really glad that I finally gave up human efforts to, change the situation. And I just gave it to God because he has fixed it better than I ever could. And I'm so grateful for that. And I really hope that this testimony helps somebody else out there. I know there's a lot, and you feel so alone when you're in the midst of it. But I promise it's sweeter on the other side. I don't know if you could tell a second ago when I was pumping the soap onto my Scrub Daddy, but I am running low on some dish soap. So I was trying to figure out which dishes I should wash first because they're all equally messy. That big pot actually has sweet tea in it. I got a story for y'all in a second. But I'm really trying to make this soap stretch before I can go get some more this afternoon. But, okay, so the other morning, probably the day before this, yeah, I wanted some sweet tea. And I don't use the water out of the sink. It makes me really sick. So we have big bottles of water with a pump on it that I get the water out of. Well, anyway, I went to put water in the pot to make sweet tea, and there was maybe 1 cup of water left in that huge bottle. And I'm still too weak. I can't go to the basement and lug up another water. So for the day, I didn't have water. Anyway, I was like, well, I'll just make 1 cup of tea. Literally 1 cup. I got the water in the pot. I put it on the stove, set the timer, put it to boil. Came back in, turned the boiler off, put the giant tea bag in. Set the timer for about 10 minutes to steep it. Came back. Y'all, I forgot to take that pot off that burning boiler, and it had evaporated the water, the tea, down to maybe 1/4 of a cup. So I just put the pot in the sink and said, forget it, because that's just how my day went Friday. And well, you live, you learn. From now on, I'm going to take that pot off the boiler so it doesn't evaporate all my water so I can have some tea. I was so mad. But when my husband got home, I was like, hey, can you please bring up another water? And usually when he brings it up, he'll bring it upstairs and he'll hook it up for me because I can't flip it over. Y'all, I got to start getting some muscles in my arms. Anyway, so he brought it upstairs and went outside. And I went in the kitchen to fix a glass of water because I felt quite parched. And he had just set it on the counter. He didn't hook it up. So I was like, well, dadgum. So I had to wait another hour for him to come back inside and hook up the pump for me so I could have some water. Just little things like that, drive me insane. I really need to get some muscles because what am I going to do if I'm left to my own devices? I would never have water. I'd probably thirst to death. I hope y'all are enjoying the video so far. I told you it's a lot of stuff. But if you are new here, my name is Jessie and I'm married to my husband Justin. We have 3 boys together that are 13, 11, and 8. We bought this house a little over 2 years ago. It's on a little bit of land, so we have some chickens and we have a space for a garden, but haven't done anything with it yet this year, which is so strange. I don't know what's going on. But over on my channel, I like to post biblical homemaking and cleaning motivation, day in the life vlogs and things like that. So if you enjoy it, please hit that like button so I know you enjoy the video, and subscribe to join my little family so you see all of my upcoming ones. I'm so glad you're here, and be sure and say hello in the comments if you're new so I can come and say hello back. I don't always get to the comments immediately, but I promise I do get back to them, and I read every single one when you post them. If you have a prayer request, I pray for you immediately, even if I don't respond for a few days. So I hope you're comforted knowing that you're being prayed for. This was really gross in the sink right here because we had spaghetti sauce with some tomatoes in it, and the tomatoes were clogging up the sink. And I hate touching stuff in the sink. It's so nasty. But I got it cleaned out, and then it was all better. But do y'all have weird things, like sensory things, like you don't like to touch stuff in the sink because it just grosses me out down to my bones? I'm thinking about getting those other kind of drains that don't collect stuff in them like this, and that are easier to pull out without getting dirty. I don't know. I've seen them somewhere. I can't even think of what they look like right now, but I just don't like these drains because they get really gross and dirty, and they're actually kind of hard to clean because of the little crevices. But anyway, see, I'm trying really hard to get the soap out. Like, it is down to the wire. I know I told y'all that Saturday I just sat on the couch and rotted like a store-bought avocado, but I actually was productive with my brain because I was watching decluttering videos on YouTube. Y'all, I watched some of the best decluttering videos. I watched Clutterbug. Y'all know I love her. And this other girl, Shelby Marybeth, I think, she decluttered her entire house, and it was so aesthetically pleasing. And she had a lot of stuff. Like, she got rid of a lot of stuff. And it was very inspiring. Something about watching decluttering videos makes me want to clean my house and then declutter it even more. So I'm totally going to do that. Yeah, like I said, the bathroom's going to get decluttered again. I'm so done with all this junk we don't need in the house, because in order to clean properly, you're going to have to be able to get to the areas, and it's been years and years I've been working on this, but I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to actually being able to maintain the house and still have joy in my life and not just clean all the dang time. Another one that I watched was still Clutterbug, but she talked about how if your house is depressed, and what she meant was like when you look around, do you see a lot of stuff piled up, a lot of clutter that brings you overwhelm and sadness? And she talked about how like if you declutter it and you bring like good smells into your home, good lighting sources, those are scientifically proven to help with your mood. So I've started really being serious about, you know, putting my lemon scents into the air that I enjoy so much, and opening the curtains every day, getting outside every day for some sunlight, making sure the trash doesn't get stinky. Like I really try to keep that trash from smelling at all, because she said science shows if your body detects a disgusting odor, your immune system actually is on the attack mode, and it's a survival technique your body's adapted. So, which is a good thing. But if it happens too much, it can actually cause autoimmune issues. So I was like, wow, that really piques my interest, because, you know, I got some autoimmune stuff going on. So if you too have autoimmune, maybe look into boosting the smells in your home that are good and decreasing anything that smells bad. Because I had no idea the smells would do that, but it kind of makes sense. Because I know in another video I told you guys my husband did some kind of oil diffuser smell. It was like fresh linen, and I think it smells horrible, and it put me in the worst mood. So I guess that explains that. I'm not crazy. It's actual science. Another smell that does that to me is raw hamburger meat, which is crazy. I'll admit that's crazy. And Axe body spray. So y'all pray for me, because my son is 13. He's going to be 14 in June. And he's at that stage where he wants to spray that kind of stuff because all of his buddies are spraying it. Good grief. Y'all mamas, if you're watching this and you just let your kid bathe in this stuff, please teach them how to use it properly. It only takes half a spray of that stuff to smell whatever, different. I don't even like the smell of it. It's just horrible. Instant migraine for me. Definite pet peeve is body spray. Oh, I meant to tell you at the beginning when I was talking about Mother's Day what I got for Mother's Day. So, like I said, my kids weren't home, so I know that sounds weird, but it was amazing, and I'll do it every year if I could. My husband said he woke up at 3 a.m. to do this for me. Usually he buys me a card, but he also knows I like him to save money. So he woke up at 3 a.m. on Mother's Day and printed off a sweet little note that he wrote. I think it said, "We love you more as each day passes," or something like that. It was really sweet. And then he printed out another page with a picture of the boys on it, and a family picture from when we went on our first family vacation to Dauphin Island, Alabama, which is beautiful, by the way. Anyway, what cracked me up was he propped it up on the counter on a Ziploc bag that should have been thrown in the trash. So my Mother's Day display was printed out papers on trash. I just thought it was so funny, because it was very sweet and thoughtful. Like, it takes a lot to create things on your phone and print them off. But just to set up on a piece of trash cracked me up. I hope y'all can laugh with me, because I'm not mad about it. I'm not upset. I'm very grateful for any love that is shown that way, because there's been years. Y'all, there's been years. Always communicate with your spouse what you expect. I should have put that in the newlywed advice. But anyway, it was just hilarious, and it was very sweet to wake up to. And then I just sat down on the couch and I ate my chocolate chip pancakes with my bacon, with some, I think, Pepsi, which was not a wise choice, but I digress. And I watched church online, and he had a wonderful sermon talking about how we should raise our children. And then after that, what did I do? I don't remember what I did. I just remember I relaxed until about 2 o'clock, and that's when I got up to film this video for y'all, cleaning the house. So after Justin got home, we went to Menards to get my Mother's Day present, and I can't wait to show you guys. I'm so excited about it. And then came home, had a quick supper, Mom and Dad brought the kids home for us. So grateful for that. And the youngest one passed out on the couch. He was so tired. He kind of had a headache, so I gave him some ibuprofen to help with that, gave him some water, and he just passed out on the couch and slept all night long. And the middle child, he does not sleep hardly ever. Like, he's up and down all night long. And it's the ADHD is what the doctor said. Anyway, so I got to sleep about midnight. And then at 1 o'clock, he got in my bed. And then I went to the bathroom, came back, and he was in my spot. So I had to shoo him out of my spot, told him to get to the foot of the bed. And then he got up and actually came and slept on the couch. But he stayed there the rest of the night. And then this morning for school, it was a really hard morning. My husband was almost late for work. My other son barely caught the bus early. And then I'm supposed to get up at 6:30 before the two younger ones to get them up for school. Well, I slept past 6:30 because I was so tired. Oh, I also had some stomach issues last night, and when I have those, I'm extra tired in the morning. Anyway, I got them up at 7:15. The bus gets here at 7:25, and I knew before trying to wake them up, this was going to be a matter of you have got to ask Jesus for help because they are not gonna want to get up. That is a tongue twister. And I said, dear Lord, please help the children have energy to wake up so they can get ready for school. Help them have good attitudes and a wonderful day. Y'all, I said, boys, snap my fingers, time to get up. They got up, put their shoes on, did their morning stuff. They were the best little angels. And then we prayed, I hugged them, and they got on the bus. It was an ideal morning, and you would not believe it only took 10 minutes to get all that done. But that's all it took, and I was so thankful. So that's another tip for you mamas. If you can already sense it's going to be a hard morning, pray over your children before you wake them up. I'm telling you, it makes a world of difference. I need to remember to do it more often. I don't know why I don't. But there's your reminder and encouragement to do so as well. Now, I told y'all this video is like 45 minutes long, and I'm trying to talk slowly, but my mouth it's a motor mouth, and it just gets ahead of me sometimes. So I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast. But now I'm going to jump to a subject of a TikTok I watched. So I watched a TikTok of this woman, and she had lost her spouse. And immediately brought tears to my eyes, and I was like, I'm going to watch the rest of it. And she was talking about how something that she has really had to come to terms with is when her spouse died, she thought of that Bible verse in Romans, I think it's 8. I can't remember the exact scripture reference, but it talks about how we know that God will work together for good. God will work together for good for anyone who is called according to his purpose. Well, I really butchered that. And God will cause all things to work for good for those who are called according to his purpose, those who are predestined and foreknown. Okay, so she said she always thought that meant if you worked it out for good, it meant you're happy and joyful and comforted all the time. But really, she said what it means is when it says it works it out for your good, it's talking about making you more into the image of Christ, because the scripture goes on when Paul writes to say that we're made more into the image of Christ every day, like through every situation we go through. Like that's, as a Christian, we're sanctified. That's our goal. It's just becoming more like Christ. And so that does not mean that you're going to feel good about it and you're not going to be comfortable most of the time, because Jesus suffered. So we are not immune to suffering. And we may never see the good that comes of it this side of heaven. But I believe once we get to eternity, everything will make sense. If we even care, then we're going to be with Jesus, Who cares what happened on earth? But she said, if you look at your life and you find a situation that is just really hard right now, whether it's loss, confusion, just something really hard that you're struggling with, that's where he's trying to conform you more into the likeness of his son. So we need to, I'm talking to myself here, instead of complaining about the situation, which y'all know I tend to do. I really don't mean to, but it just happens. But if we can look at it like, what is God wanting me to learn out of this? How is this making me more like Jesus? What character traits are being built in me? It really makes the situation not seem so hopeless because there's a reason for it all. Even if I don't understand it, it's making you more like Jesus, and that's the whole goal of the Christian life. And I just think somebody needs to hear that today. So I hope that it made sense and that you enjoyed that message, even though it's kind of a hard one because comfort is comfortable and that's where we want to be. But most of life it's just one storm after another, and you got to remember that Jesus is in the boat. He's in the storm with us, and we've just got to keep going. This floor was so nasty. I'm really glad that I mopped it today. I meant to tell you, for the mop water, I'm out of my floor cleaner that I usually use, so I just used really hot water and some of my Mrs. Myers. No, why do I always say Mrs. Myers? It's Method grapefruit spray, and it smells really good. I don't recommend it. It left the floors kind of sticky, so I will be going to get some floor cleaner this afternoon to remop them. But it works in a pinch, and the house smells really good. Oh, speaking of mopping, do y'all mop your walls? I've seen a lot of people start mopping their walls now, and they say it really helps deodorize your house. I don't want to mop it with this mop head. I want to get some refill mop heads before I do that, because as you can tell, this one needs to be washed. But I've never mopped the walls before. I didn't know you were supposed to do that. I also forgot to mention, I'm sure you're wondering when I was cleaning in the beginning why I didn't do all of this like room by room, but I decided just for my mental health, I would get the clutter picked up first, sweep, and then get the kitchen cleaned up, and then when everything was done, come back and do the sweeping and mopping, if the sweeping was needed. I'm confusing myself. I swept earlier. I meant the mopping and putting everything back where it goes and wiping down the countertop. I hope that made sense. Sometimes I just clean different than everybody else, but you do whatever works for you, whatever works best. Yeah, and if you can see that black spot over there on the sink, that's a dead fly. Ew, I'm finding them everywhere. I don't know why we have so many flies right now. But, oh my gosh, y'all, I woke up with 2 spots on my back, and I texted my friend, and I was like, what are these red spots? Because they started off as like, they look like red whelps, not mosquito bites. My mosquito bites whelp up, but this was different. And they itched real bad. I didn't scratch them. I had self-control with that. But a couple days later, they flattened out, and they kind of look like bruises. Like it's that kind of texture, but they're still red. Anyway, she told me that in her dog group, people were posting similar pictures, and it's from flies. I was like, why in the world would a fly want to bite me? But it bit me twice, whatever it was. And I don't know. I freak out when I get bit by anything because I'm like, what if it's something that's going to kill me or make me sick? But luckily, I've been okay with these, so praise the Lord for that. We were supposed to go to the movie theater with my mom, my dad, and my father-in-law, me and Justin, to go see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I told y'all about that because my husband bought a gift card about a month ago. Well, we were, it was the morning of, and he got the gift card out, and he was like, oh no. Y'all, he bought the wrong movie theater gift card. Ours is Cinemark, and he bought an AMC, and the nearest one to us is, I think, over an hour away. Anyway, so we didn't get to go to the theater, so hopefully we get to take them another time. But instead, we just went kind of window shopping on a little date day and got a few groceries. So it was still a nice day. We were bummed out we didn't get to go to the theater, but everything works out for a reason, so not too bummed out about it. But I've just got a couple things to restock, and that'll be it for today's video. So I hope that you have enjoyed it and that it gave you a ton of motivation to get your house put back together, ready for the new week. I'm ready for the new week. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun filming this and talking to you guys. I know it's been all over the place with what I've talked about, but welcome to my brain. I really hope that you liked it. Oh yeah, we got a lot more eggs, so I need to put those in this little carton, and I'm going to take my mom a couple dozen of these. I love being able to give them eggs. It just brings my heart so much joy, and I love this little basket. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, gave you a ton of motivation. Please like and subscribe, and please share the video. It really helps my little channel out if you share it with people, because then they get to see, and if they like me, then they become part of the family too. And I really appreciate everything that you guys say in the comments and your likes and your shares. You mean the world to me. Let me know if you've got any prayer requests. But I'm going to end the video here because I've blabbed long enough. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. And until the next video, be grateful, give grace, and God bless.